Good morning, welcome to my channel. I am about to eat breakfast this morning and my breakfast is really simple. Some toasted bread with cream cheese and jelly and of course a cup of coffee to go with it. But the star is the bread, cranberry walnut bread. Cranberries give you this sweetness and walnuts give you this extra crunch. My favorite bread to eat is sourdough bread, but once in a while it gets boring and I crave something else. Either apricot golden raisin walnut or the cranberry walnut bread. You can add either honey to the dough or maple syrup. And it's up to you how much sweetness do you want to have. And this is what I would like to show you how I make. Cranberry walnut bread. 425 grams of flour, chopped dry cranberries. I put some golden raisins in there too, about 1/4 of a cup. Walnuts, 250 milliliters of warm water. And I will put 1 or 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And in my warm water, I already have 1 tablespoon of sugar. Sugar always helps the dry yeast to get active. And there is 1 teaspoon of salt in my flour. Now I will just dissolve the yeast in my water, warm water, and 1 tablespoon of sugar in there. And it will take about 4 minutes or so to see the foam. And the foam is indication that the yeast is ready. And what I do with my breads, because sometimes it happens when my husband travels and I like to freeze my breads so they're always fresh, I put, and this is only for my family, I put 2 tablespoons of my own sourdough starter in any bread I make. When I do that, it freezes or actually unfreezes better. And if you don't have the sourdough starter at home, because I know not everybody has it, all you do is just put 50 milliliters more of the warm water. This is replacing the gooey, kind of liquidy sourdough starter. 50 milliliters more of water. So instead of 250, you will have 300. And that's it. That's the only difference here. I will put my walnuts, raisins. Salt is already in. 1.5. I don't want it too sweet because my cranberries here will give me the sweetness. I have some friends who really love sweet bread. All you do is just put extra maple syrup. And if you don't have maple syrup, put 2 tablespoons of honey instead. And my wonderful sourdough starter. So again, if you don't have the sourdough starter, just increase the liquid intake here about 50 milliliters. Here you can see the yeast is ready. It's foamy. So just pour everything in and mix it up. So you mix it up for a few minutes with the spoon, and then when it's coming together, you can finish with your hands. Cover and leave it out for about an hour or so. I live in Florida. When I cover it, for me, it might be just 45 minutes. And for some of you who have colder climate, it might be a little bit more unless you have your place really warm. That's it for now. So it has been about 45 minutes for me. And the scraper is a wonderful tool to have, so the dough is not sticking to the ball. It's harder to wash it later and not to your hands. So 45 minutes later, you see that it doubled in size. And now I will just need to stretch and fold a few times and wait for the second rise. After it doubles in size, it will go in the oven for about half an hour. I need my baking sheet, flour on. Once you shape it nice and round, put it in like this, flour on top, and it is ready for a second rise. For me it would probably have an hour, as it is 90 degrees right now outside. Now it's time to put my cranberry walnut bread in, and I have my boxing gloves on. My dish was in the oven for at least 15 minutes, so it's nice and warm. And now it's time to put my bread in. Have to be careful here because the dish is hot. Cover half an hour, 425. I will check on it and take the cover off for the last few minutes so it's nice and crispy. Wow, awesome! It looks so good. I have baked so many breads, but every time I see this, I get excited. 3, 2, 1. And that's the sound I was waiting for. Happy baking! And here we go. Cranberry walnut bread. I gotta have the first bite every time. So now I have to wait about half an hour for it to cool down and I can slice it. Thank you again for watching. Bon appetit, smacznego. Best part on the end. Can you hear the crunch? Fresh bread is the best. Here we go. Cranberry walnut bread. Bon appetit. Smacznego. Dziękuję.